You jelly?
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today I'm playing with Cynette Jelly Drover. This is a mono blue flying commander because she buffs all of your flying creatures and makes a flying creature both when she enters and when she dies, which is a great reason to blink her, having her re-enter the battlefield so you get even more jellyfish to swarm your opponent. And in this deck, I'm playing a lot of 1 mana, 2 mana, and 3 mana flyers, and from there, well, you don't need to cast anything else because hopefully you've already won the game. You can also protect your game plan with some good instants, some counter spells, some bounce spells, and some creatures that can actually fly and counter or kind of counter your opponent's spells like Subtlety, Overcharged Amalgam, and if you need some card draw, don't worry, Enduring Curiosity combined with these evasive creatures will get you a lot of it. Cynette's very fun to blink, so cards like Displacer Kitten and some of the instant speed blinking spells are really nice to use with her. So let's take Cynette into the queue and start giving them a flyby. Tetiova Benthic Druid. Landfall, draws a card, gains a life. It's Simic, and it's ramp. Well, if they're going to be drawing cards, maybe I'll get to draw some of their cards too. I've got a Fairy Mastermind in hand, which is nice. Also having like flashy, splashy things means I can get some damage in. And I can also drink my espresso martini. Courtesy of Nick, the best partner, to provide for me such important goods like espresso martini. Oh, growth spiral in response. A common Nick dub, yeah. We name Wizard in this deck because a large number of the spells in this deck are in fact wizards. Believe it if you will. I'm not gonna pay the 2. Got lots of damage building up in the air. I've got a counter spell, the ability to phase things out. Also just flash fire. If they don't cast anything worth countering here, I'm just yeeting this thing into play. Tireless Provisor is worth countering. I'm gonna hit that. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. We are waiting for our opponent to make their next move. They've ramped. Growth Spiral got them a land. And then Turn Timber. Okay. I could just play Cynette here, or I could go Naban and Spectral Adversary. This would be a little bit more damage. I am going to go for Naban first, though, because then I will get 2 jellies instead of just 1. It also makes it look like I have another counter spell. And sometimes all you gotta do is look like you have one. Yeah, that's right, we got double wizard power. Mossborn Hydra gets huge over time, doubles its counters each time a land enters. Especially with fetches, this thing can kill you across just a few turns. And with Fanatic of Ronus, I don't think they'll be able to kill me with it next turn, so I am going to just build up as much damage as I can with the Spectral Adversary into Cynette. This would be a counter spell, but I want damage. Boom, 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 boom. Naban, thank you so much for the extra jellies. We're threatening lethal in the air next turn. Yeah, this is a exploiting counterspell. Oh, Winding Way. Top 4 cards had 2 lands, one of which is a fetch land. If they play that fetch, this can tap for 4 before they even crack it open. But it doesn't look like they're playing it first. They're going to explore, though, drawing a 2nd card per turn, which gets me a card. Thank you so much. I love this island. I like how it's like, oh, it can't kill me this next turn. It might be able to kill me. This is a card that can just go off, and there's so little you can do about it. You gotta kill it. Which blue? We have a little kill, little tiny bit of kill. But Hydroid Krasis only gains him a tiny bit of life. I'll take 16. It doesn't kill me. And I have enough flyers. I think I can just finish them off. I could even put that thing back into their hand, but I'm not going to. I'm going to swing with 1, 2, 3, 4. Not you, Cynette. Cynette, you can swing in too. The band, you can as well. Everybody in. They only need 8 life to die, and I've got so much damage split across these flyers. Damage dealt, and the game is won. GG, Tatiova. Aetherios, God of Passage. This is a black-white reanimator / sacrifice / sometimes just a heir apparent deck, or another card that you can run tons of that scales with the numbers, because if they die, you can put them back into your hand unless your opponent is willing to pay 3 life. Hi there, Aetherios. Oh, that is going to be making me pay. And pay! I can't. I do want to play this favorable wins on curve since I have a 3-drop here. They're gonna get to draw a card, but now I've got a 2/2 instead of a 1/1. The damage continues. Priest of Forgotten Gods, one of the best sacrifice engines you can get because you sacrifice 2 and your opponent has to sacrifice as well, which is why I'm going to turn that into a treasure and then treasure it dearly. No, I don't want to turn my creature into one. I just want to turn that into one. Nice. So now I've got 5 damage in the air. They have an extra mana, because the Priest of Forgotten Gods is, it's like that. And they killed it, but it's not a creature at the time that it dies, so it doesn't trigger Aetherios. I have 4 mana. I think it's time for Cynette. My creatures get stronger. We swing in. That's 7 more damage dealt. Not too much more to go. Nykthos is now active. Nice. And by active, I mean generating more mana than it costs to activate. Which means I might be able to afford to pay the 1. Cool. I'd like that. No! Meat Hook Massacre takes out 2 of my flyers. 3 of my flyers. At least I get an extra jellyfish at the end. I will absolutely pay 3 life. Number go down, but my number is still higher than their number, so I think that means I'm winning. You can give things flying, right? Yes. Double checking. Oh, I didn't need to bolt that in. I don't know why I thought I did. Kappa. I guess I could duplicate the Larcenist. But this is cute. It lets me hold up the flash flyer. Nykthos once again offline. It's fine, we'll get it back. Woe Strider lets you freely sacrifice your creatures. I will lose 1 no matter what. But do I pay 3 life? Sure do. I don't want you having that gnome. I can technically counter one of these abilities, but I'd rather flash this out so I have enough damage to kill them next turn. You're saying good game? Wait! I didn't show you my bird wizard yet! Buckton Decorated Host. Big Bucks Buxton taps your creatures with Convoke and then lets you cheat in a permanent based on the number of tapped things you've got. The more things you have tapped at the end of your turn, the bigger a possible permanent you could get. And you can filter your deck so you're using non-permanents to make permanents so you can maximize the stuff that you're getting out of Buxton's ability. I've got this Ornithopter facing down. Yeah. Come at me, bro. Yeah, I want to deal damage. I'm less worried about them having targeted stuff. I just want to deal damage because I'm an aggro deck. Be aggressive. BE aggressive. The Vendilion Click. That's another fun one. And normally I would wait until their draw step. But for now, I want to mess with their hand. So I see what's on top of their deck. It's a land. Azusa and Settle the Wilds. I'm going to drop that Azusa. What's on top of your deck now? Ah, dang. A thing that can block flyers. Hacks, cheats. The Arboreal Grazer coming into play. Ooh, Priest of the Awakening Sun. Neat. Okay. Let's you tutor for dinosaurs. What dinosaur do you think they tutor for? They Settle the Wilds, and they still have 5 Convoking mana for Buckton. So everybody gets tapped, and they're going to get a random 3, 2, 1, or 0 cost permanent. They got Healer's Hawk! Nice. I'll play Cynette here over Enduring Curiosity. Because I crave blood. I think they search for Galta. There is a Convoke dinosaur. Imperiosaur might be the name. It's really good. Or maybe it is Galta. You were totally right. It's just Galta. I thought it was going to be the Convocasaur. I'm just quickly texting some Loading Ready Run folks who are going to be at MagicCon Chicago. And I will also be at MagicCon Chicago. And between all of us being at MagicCon Chicago, it should be a good time. Cynette, you're getting in there too. Why didn't they play Galta? Maybe Graham, Kathleen, Serge, one of the Bens, one of the many Bens. There's a lot of wonderful people that are a part of Loading Ready Run. I can't wait to hang out with all of them. We evolve! But more important than the evolution is the card draw. Not enough mana? They had green, right? I don't have enough mana to cast this, so no need to hold it up. We scry. And now I have 2, 4, 6, 8. Wow, 11 damage in the air next turn. They're saying good game. A great game! If you're the Jelly Drover. GG Buckton. Adelin, Resplendent Cathar. Looks like we're up against some of the big boys now. This is an extremely aggressive mono-white commander. Whenever they attack in with anything, they get an extra attacker. And, oh, lucky me, I get a Harrier Strix. I guess I'll tap down your planes. Adelin goes super wide. Oh, they have the new Jumpstart art. Nice. Goes super wide, and she gets super big, growing her power based on the number of creatures. Also, apparently, I'm not allowed to do things on their turn, which is really rough, because, like, half my deck has Flash. Looking at you, Malcolm. I could go for Ornithopter to bring out Cynette early. I actually like just Sorcery Speed Malcolm here. It doesn't need to be a surprise to be good. The Marauder can let me do stuff. It's only until end of turn. So, once it's their turn again, the Abolisher says, no, 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 you can't cast things. I'm trying to get the Thieving Haven out. This card is like a little clunky relative to the rest of the deck, but it's also just so good. It is value every single attack. You give it extra power, it gets extra power. Thieving Haven is a card that should have never been made, or at least not made to be as consistent and powerful as it is. It shouldn't have to grow. It's good enough. I'll swing in with these homies. They got themselves a flyer, by the way, because they know they got a block. We draw, and Mausoleum Wanderer, Civil Destructionist, the Warkite Marauder. That would help clear the way. I'm going to drop the Ornithopter of Paradise here and bring out Thieving Haven. My plan is to, next turn, play Cynette. Yeah, this person, I think, has dealt with their fair share of counterspells. That's why you play this. It's not in the video, but I actually played against somebody who kept a hand because it had Allosaurus Shepherd in it, but they got mana screwed and gave up when they didn't get another land, even though I also didn't get another land. It's like, oh no, I can't counter any of their stuff. But they left anyway. So I guess it doesn't matter. Well, that's silly. Cynette, come on out. I'll swing with Malcolm. They might trade. I would trade. Give the buffins to my little guys. And swing on in. If Malcolm gets 4 counters on it from these chorus counters, then I get to cast a spell for free, which is neat. Lofty Denial. Again, don't want the counter spells. They have a Grand Abolisher. They also have Ranger Captain of Eos, which can be sacrificed, so I cannot cast non-creature spells on a turn. Yet typically, Adelin is the sort of thing you run into if you're playing something like Ragavan, Rusko, Magda, those super aggressive or super control, but really strong decks. That's the kind of thing that usually matches into Adelin. Do I put Adelin in jail or the Swooper in jail? Swoop. I want to steal. And I ain't afraid of no attackers. I should probably be afraid of attackers. But I'm not at this moment in time. We get to loot. We get to heist. Oh my gosh, these are great choices. Get lost. It's just a ward of 1. Oh, hey, Spectral Sailor. Aren't you a cool card? I'll drop Nimble Obstructionist. And I'm just going to get rid of Adelin. Do you pay the 1? Sure do. And that gets me a counter on a Thieving Aven. You love Malcolm. This card is ridiculous. If you would like what I believe is the best mono blue tempo commander, it's Malcolm. Malcolm is the kind of thing that will match into Adelin. Malcolm is incredibly strong. But also, like, it's great in the 99 of a flyer stack. Selfless Spirit gives them the ability to give indestructible to all their creatures. And it's also a flyer, so it can block some of my flyers. If they attack in, they're getting a toy. The toy's not attacking, but they still do have it. I could trade here with their legitimate business boy. I'm not going to. And I take a big hit. I could have hit this with subtlety. In fact, now I realize I probably should have. I sometimes forget that, like, lethal damage is good damage. I'm going to animate the Blinkmoth Nexus because guess what? I had an extra flyer this whole time. And I still have lethal. Because they can only block 1 in the air. And I've got 5 of power 2 or more. GG, Adelin. Muldrotha, the Gravetide, allows them to recast things from their graveyard. But only permanents and only 1 of each type each turn. They can also replay lands. If you notice a small glowing spot next to me, that's the sun. And I'm very sorry to say, I don't have a way to stop the sun from shining. But I do have a little Starscream toy. It's not going to show up quite right because of the blue screen. My partner gave it to me, and I'm going to try to shove this in the way of the light beam so you don't have to look at it. Let's... And blocking it? Not quite, not quite. Scooch it over here. That's blocking part of it. Not bad. I'm going to name Wizard here. Oh, I realize now I could hold up a counterspell. This is fine. Arcane Signet. I'm ramping. Oh, somebody's saying, by the power of an espresso martini, you are winning your games. I am winning many games. By the power of mono blue tempo and espresso martinis. Once again, thank you to my partner for bringing me this as a special treat. Oh, goodness, they've ramped. It would be very bad if I had the ability to turn off the sun for everyone. But I'll settle for, like, slowing down the sun a little bit just in my apartment. If you're wondering why I didn't play Cynette, it's because they have already accelerated to 6 mana. So I want to be able to stop Muldrotha. I've got Counterspell, Tail's End, and are you bouncing my Lantern Bearer? My sweet little guy? Okay, never mind. I'll block your Llanowar Elf. An adequate trade. I use Lantern Bearer to actually give Cynette flying, which is really fun because then if Cynette has flying, she gives herself a buff. It does not say other creatures. It does not say other. And I guess I could Tails End their polluted Delta there. It's just not my vibe. Are you gonna bounce it? Hater. Real hater behavior. Not happening, buddy. That's 5 mana, big value. I'm returning Ledger Shredder to play. Virtue of Persistence. Shashwa. My bird disappears and reappears. It's a good bird, and now they can't cast the Virtue either until they get Muldrotha out. Oh, I love Ominous Lockbox. This card is silly in such a good way. I'm going to drop River's Rebuke here because I want to start building up damage. So, Ominous Lockbox, if I were them, I would say 4. Because that means when I cast Cynette, they also get a Cynette. And they know eventually I'm going to cast my commander. It's just how it is. It's how we go. That's how we row. And, oh, he's a toy. And he's unable to scream. I'll scream about this. It's an Oracle of the Alpha. Oh, they chose 3! Now they also get an Oracle. I wonder if they went for 3 for a counterspell? Okay. Alright, we both have the Power 9 in our libraries. I guess Cynette's not really worth copying. Because she's just not that impressive. Nice Simulacrum. Simulacra? Nice robot. And I still got some counter type things. I'm gonna bring out the Silver Raven. Tweet, tweet. Ooh, Vendilion Click. Fun. Not what I'm looking for right now. I'm going to bring out the Lantern Bearer to give the Ledger Shredder flying. Also triggering the Ledger Shredder, right? Oh, right. Never mind. It's a toy with no abilities. I forgot. Terrible Mander! I'll keep that on top. That's a 1-drop that's awful fun, especially if I keep casting more and more instants and sorceries. It's very cheap to adapt. Aww, they're gonna wreck it. They could either wreck my Raven, the Flying, or the Signet. Okay, they wrecked the Flying. I think the robot looks kind of sad. Oh, no, wait, they can do the whole bird because it gets turned into a toy. And I'm not playing Cynette if I can hold up a counter for Muldrotha. I know they're dealing more damage to me than I can absorb, but, like, I gotta... I'll take a land. Land good. Any of you wizards? Bird Wizard! Me checking my Riptide lab. Like, who else is a wizard here? You? I'm gonna use the Witness Protection on this. Just so they won't have a flying blocker. One on a ground versus a 2/3 in the air, especially with the ability to grow it off fight rigging. It's a legitimate business bird, unlike the leisure shredder, who is a legitimate business bird. Yeah, checks out. Take a bunch of damage. Hostage taker. All right. Because of how numbers are happening, I am going to Tails End the hostage taker's ability here. Hi, it's Cynette. And let's see, I have to be able to block at least 2. They have the ability to bounce something next turn. I will attack in with these 2. Scry, Snare Master, Sprite. I'll take it. The Shredder is an illegitimate business bird. I think he's a lawyer, though, because he works for the Obscura? No, it's the Bant one that's the lawyers. Nobody remembers the name of the things from New Capenna. Oh, Reinhardt, thank you for the sub. I will block with you. And a double block. Can I afford a double block? Nope. Just a cheeky little block here and a little block there, so I'm not dead. Commander returns to the command zone. I get a jelly. You jelly. They can bring out a land. Then they can bring out a one-cost thing, like Unable to Scream. Brokers are the Bant ones, right? Is this the broker's symbol? Sword through the hand? I wish I knew. I wish I remembered. Just saying nice. Are you still a wizard? Oh, they are. That's adorable. I'm going to tap and lock down Solemn Simulacrum here. No safe attacks. We stay back. It's Obscura. Okay, it is Obscura. I got it right the first time. Perfect. Fight rigging lets them buff up a critter. Who's getting bigger? Who's getting extra thick? Well, Drotha is. This is the thing I most want to keep alive. I'll take 2. And Necros, thank you for the sub. Oh yeah, conniving is also an Obscura thing. No, my Terramander. I'm so far from adapting now. Wizard, return. Are you also a wizard? Swag. I'm dead. But at least I can put a second copy of the Power 9 into my library, not like I drew any of it. I'll hit them with a nice little good game. GG, no time walks. GG, Muldrotha, good. Even if Muldrotha didn't do much. Just more like Sultai colors. Has some really nice stuff. We didn't have a very strong aggro start. And so death was imminent. GG. Erois, God of Victory. Gives your creatures menace. Does something else too, but I don't remember what it is. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control. Sheesh! I guess blocking isn't on the menu today. I'll throw down this Mystic Sanctuary with no spells to recur. And then next turn, I can either go for a Naban to set up a double, or Haka, because it's a cool bird. Or hold up mana for Jawari Disruption. If I had something with Flash, I think I would do this. But this gets me a Scry. It gets me some doubling. It feels like it's a good move in general. So here's Haka. Never defend. Only attack. It's a bird, all right. Island. Time Twist. Both of those in that order. Play the Lantern Bearer. I'm going to hold the Jawari Disruption. Hell yeah, and that's what we're countering. It's the darn little doggy. Dog's scary. And if it can attack in for free because damage isn't dealt to it, I'd be unable to scream. Unfortunately, Erois cannot be turned into a toy. Unless it happens to be the right moment in time. I'm going to bring out Nabandine of Iteration. I'm going to swing in for 1. And then play Haka. Tweet, tweet. Caw-caw. And I have a couple choices here. Choice number 1, Cynette. Choice number 2, yes, thank you with that blankie. I'm gonna go Blinkity here. So I'm going to put on full control mode. Boop, boop, boop. And then time twist to the Haka in response to its own abilities. There's a good reason for this. It's because the front side of Haka is Alrund, a very good card. So I've scryed here Nykthos and Cloudfin Raptor. Would I like land or would I like bird? I'd like both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the bottom and I am going to name land next turn. Or no, I'll name creature because I'll have already drawn the land. It gets me mana. Oh, it's this jerk. No. My partner is just like watching from the other room. Nick, this martini is delicious. Thank you so much for the snacks. Roast potato? Yes. I just made a bunch of jellyfish. Dude, look at this. Look at how cute this is. I know, it's a little Hatsune Miku ass looking thing. Thank you for potato. This is the best guy. Bring the alcohol. Bring the potato. Bring the creature. See that? Bring the creature. I'm just like so distracted. I'm pretty sure I goofed up those turns. It doesn't matter. Oh yeah, they have menace. It's a double block. Oh, I won! I won and I get to eat potato. Truly the luckiest woman on earth. Progenitus! So Progenitus is actually a commander a lot of people have requested me to brew. And I have told them, I don't think Progenitus does anything. Progenitus is super strong. It's a 10 mana, 10/10 with protection from everything. Yeah, but what do you put for the rest of the deck? Because nothing other than ramp, and I guess fixing, like this, or sorry, not fixing, but like Cheetaman spells is kind of the only thing that synergizes with it. Beyond that, it's 5-color good stuff. It can be countered, and I'm just not that into 5-color good stuff decks. I'm going to keep one of these lands on top, so I am lined up for 4 mana for Cynette. This is fine. Yes, this is a 5-mana Progenitus instead of a 10-mana Progenitus, which, good for them. I got a bunch of things with Flash, so I'm not going to cast anything here. If they go to cast another spell, it's Mastermind time. Also, welcome, Dom says. Yes, I am streaming right now. In fact, I'm recording Brawl Stars. They splunk. Oh, I meant to flash this in. I got distracted. I'll hit them with an oops. That's my bad. Mea culpa. We good. I missed out on drawing an extra card, which is tragic and shameful. Oracle the Alpha. I could go for the Power 9 in my deck. Chunk. Swingin'. Does the ley line bypass commander attacks? I don't believe so. What's more important to me? Subtletying the Progenitus or the Golos? It's the Golos. To me, Golos is a problem, a thing that should have never existed, and just incredibly frustrating. So I'm going to put it back on top of their deck. Are they missing red? Oh, they totally are. And now they'll never get it, because I put Golos back on top of their deck, which I guess is enough to stop them? Sure, why not? Bonnie Paul, Clear Cutter. It's Simic, and it's good, and it ramps, and it comes with a cow. Also, she's got Reach, which means I'm gonna need to save some counter spells if I can for the woman with the cow. They're gonna be ramping, slamping, and jamming. This is a great I would say all-around commander. You want to see a commander that does it all? Bonnie Paul does it all. I also just generally like recommending this to people as like a good introductory commander for Brawl, because it lets you play instant speed interaction in the form of counterspells, big board wipes like Cyclonic Rift, and the nastiest, stompiest things and the most landfallen things you can manage, which are a lot easier to play in paper than they are, or easier to play in Arena than in paper, because Arena handles the triggers for you, which is great. I am not blocking. Despite the fact that you just played a 3-mana 5/5, it can't attack yet. This Oracle the Alpha has a tendency to be in my opening hand. Leave me alone, Oracle of the Alpha. Because they can play additional lands, there is a chance Bonnie comes down next turn. So I will hold up the Spectral Adversary and the Tail's End. I'll just flash this in if I need to. Was my music ticker not working? I'll try and fix it. I could technically Tail's End their ramp here. No, I think I should save it for the commander. Because that commander's coming out eventually, and I need to be able to deal with it. It's the Harrow Elf, except the lands come in tapped. It's the Roiling Regrowth Elf. Thank you for letting me know that the music thingy in the corner wasn't quite working. I know fear. I could go for the Kami to get in an extra land. The Terramander, just for another adaptable. One fear. I'm gonna go for the Kami. I have this extra island in hand. Also, look! Flying bird. Beep, beep. An intrepid paleontologist. What are you studying? Dinology? I'll take 2. I got a land. Perfect, which means I can play Oracle and still hold up the Tail's End. Yes, they will have a lot more damage than me next turn. I accept this. I wish I could play Cynette and hold up this, but I can't, so I won't. Oracle time. Ready for your useless Transformers fact of the day? There's a Transformer called Blur, and he dies a lot. He dies in most media he appears in. Thanks for the bird. I don't need the Power 9, I just need birds. He also talks fast. He does. He's very cute. Poor Blur. I could tap something down with the Sprite. No, we're just here to fight. I guess I could save it in case they somehow get enough mana for Bonnie so I could, like, tap her. But we just have so much damage coming in. That's tempo, baby! Oh no, a creature with reach! A reacher. Oh wait, we're fine. I have so much damage. On top of that, River's Rebuke. Everybody get in there! You see the red shirt of Transformers? I think that's Cliff Jumper. The Transformers that die the most are Optimus Prime, Blur, and Cliff Jumper. And then Bumblebee. But like, most of them come back to life, so it's fine. GG, Bonnie Paul. Jaxus, the Troublemaker. Oh, she'll be making trouble for me by cloning their mono red creatures. I have a weird ordering problem that's going to be coming up here because I want the Raptor down before I play larger creatures, but I also want the Sleep Cursed Fairy down as fast as possible. I'm going to start with the Raptor and then go into the Fairy. What's this? Mockingbird! I could have 2 Cloudfin Raptors. I'm going to play this Jawari Disruption as a land, because I don't have another blue source here. Ruby Medallion! Ooh, making their spells cost less. I think I'm going to go for this X equals 0 Mockingbird on the Sleep Cursed Fairy, making another Sleep Cursed Fairy, and still holding up Phantom Interference, because I think they're going to try to play Jaxus, or the thing they want to clone with Jaxus. Oh, Cynette. This is going to seem strange. We're hitting the Cynette. They were, I assume, banking on being able to use that mana. Nice Firebrand. Favorable winds, holding up the Lofty Denial. Look at how chunkled these are. These are some good creatures. I'm holding up 2 mana here. I can counter a creature, or I can use this to get rid of a counter on the Sleep Cursed Fairy, one of these stun counters. Instead, Jaxus, no way. It's not happening. This thing stops me from blocking with a creature. But who cares? I'm not blocking. I'm an attacker. Unable to scream. Cynette. I could actually unable to scream this first because of Nykthos. And play Cynette. Oh, do I have an extra mana? I totally do. This is great. Swinging in. Oh no! I got Mortarsed. So Mizium Mortars is a one-sided board wipe that just got added to Arena. And I kind of forgot that it was in here. Mizium Mortars is a great use of 6 mana, or in their case, 5 mana because of the Ruby Medallion. Sure, Rada's Firebrand, you do that. Love the fit in a martini glass. Thank you. It's very cold in my apartment today. And instead of putting on flannel, I decided, you know what? It takes the same amount of effort for me to put on a blazer. So 420 blazer it. Also, the martini goes great with it, right? I was wearing this for like 6 hours before the martini happened. Doesn't matter. Great combination. Rada's Firebrand, you cut that out. The definition of class. Yeah, we're in session. I'm gonna put this upkeep stop here. Ghost Fire Slice. Okay. Once they've drawn for turn, I'm going to hit their hand with Vendilion Click. Inti and Molten Duplication. This is clones, which is great with Jaxus. And Inti is aggro and a bit of hand filtering. I'm going to get rid of the Inti, put it on the bottom of their deck. Hopefully they didn't get something better, but they might have. Here comes Jaxus. Oh, they blitzed her! They must really want to make a copy of Rada's Firebrand. It comes in regular. It does not have the aura affecting it. It is smaller than the Click, so they can't force the non-blocks, but this is going to be dying anyway, so I'm not blocking it. Also, I need the mana from the Nykthos with the Devotion for the Cynette, you know. I need number go up. They draw some cards because they blitzed and blotzed. This only cost me 1 mana thanks to Sapphire Medallion, and it adds 1 to the Devotion, so I can play it before activating Nykthos, getting Cynette, and then getting double the jellies. This is, by the way, also a wizard, so its ability would have been doubled by Naban if it was in play. There's a bunch of wizards in this deck. Turns out blue has wizards, which, all right, of the coast, you got it. 2 sweet little jellies. Fun fact, this jellyfish token apparently doesn't exist in paper. This is just for us arena players. We get to hug our sweet little jelly. Don't do that in real life. Good way to get stung. Another board wipe! Ah, oh, dang it. Well, at least I'm not too jelly. I only have 4 lands. This deck has very few lands in it. For flavor text, once you build up an immunity to their deadly venom, they're really quite cuddly. Thank you, Cynette. They blitzed Jaxus again. I guess just to deal 2 damage and draw a card? Okay, Jaxus. You do you. You cost a lot of mana. You tried that again? You're getting countered. They only have 7 life left. I have 17 life left, and now I have a counter spell. That feels good. Classy red versus blue. I will counter Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It may not present that much of a threat right away, and I don't know what else they have in hand. Oh! Looks like I guessed wrong. It's like one of these is going to be the nasty boy. It's this one. And what makes this so nasty is the fact that it doubles their damage, making the clock on me a lot shorter. It deals 6 damage when it hits. Oh, howdy, Jaxus. Both are pretty nasty. Okay, and this is a little double. They swing in with this. Because they only swung in with this, I am going to block it and Essence Flux the Lantern Bearer. Because otherwise this is dealing 12 damage. And I don't want that to happen. Yet they really like blitzing Jaxus instead of just, like, waiting one more turn. One day I'll be able to replace Cynette. Once again, Jaxus. Going for the double on the Twin Flame. Kind of surprised they're not attacking with both. Just to force a block. But I guess there's a chance I get something that would be able to kill them. Yeah, this person wants to race. If they did... Oh, you're right. I would probably double block this. It's not enough to replace Cynette. Ah! Was that 3 damage to my face? 6 damage to my face. What a way to go. GG, Jaxus. Omnath, Locus of All. A 5-color elemental that lets you bank your mana, though it turns that mana black. This hand seems okay. I've got 2 drops, though no 1 drops. A land that I can play tapped on 1. And we're going to be up against what I assume is going to be either 5-color good stuff or actually built around Omnath's ability, which cares about 3 colored pips or more being in their spell's mana cost. If you get one on top of your deck at the start of the turn, you can reveal it and add mana to your mana pool based on those colors. Omnath is generally pretty good. It gets you card advantage. And what do you need more than card advantage? I think it's going to be Malcolm, but playing it on their turn. Malcolm, Alluring Scoundrel. I'm going to play this Mischievous Mystic before attacking in as a way of saying, would you like to block? They didn't, which means I get to draw a extra card this turn. I'll drop Misty Rainforest. Drawing the extra card got me this fairy token, and then I'll play Siren Storm Tamer. Next turn, I don't know, maybe I want to steal this bird. I like stealing birds. Because they're a 5-color good stuff deck, I should probably be saving my counter spells for, like, their big scary stuff. But I want to steal. Ooh, Heraldic Banner. I'm going to drop the Riptide Lab, even though it lets me put various wizards back into my hand. Play Heraldic Banner to give all of my creatures an extra power. And I'm holding my Plume Creed Escort to give some protection. Some hexproof on one of my creatures if I need it. My birds are strong. Yes. But their dragon is also strong. Terror of the Peaks. Uh-oh. Hey, Mr. Dragon. How are you doing? I guess I wait to see what they target. Malcolm. I will give it hexproof. It stops me from being able to easily attack through, but I have a ton of power in the air. So here comes Cynette. And they concede. Now wait, let me just double check. Oh, yeah. That's lethal. GG, Omnath, locus of all. Cosima, god of the voyage. Once a dolphin, now a woman with a boat shaped like a dolphin on the back. And maybe I'll be able to make her unable to scream. I have a lot of control magic in this hand. Where's my birds? I guess this is birds. Sure, it's birds. You weren't ready for this, Jelly? It's so cute. Powerfully adorable. Lofty Dial is best if I have a flying creature, so I probably won't be firing it off unless there's something I can easily counter this turn, like the Omnath. Are you gonna play the vehicle? Nope? Okay. Cosima is very strange. The way that the card works involves temporarily exiling, and the longer you leave it in exile, the better it gets. It gets you more cards drawn, and it makes her bigger the longer she's just been chilling in exile. I know. It's a strange one. Ooh, Proliferate! If nobody casts any spells, this whale goes away pretty fast, but it's still able to just, you know, proliferate a lot, generate a lot of value. I can hold up the counter magic here, or I could make it unable to scream. I could also, like, play Cynette since I have Cynette. I want to play Cynette. It's only one spell. It doesn't proliferate. Yeah, Vanishing is such a strange ability. Not blocking. Cosima requires you to make your land drops, or it doesn't come back. So the way this is like at the beginning of your upkeep. Oh, they bounced my token. At the beginning of upkeep, you can choose to exile her. Then, when you have landfall, you can choose to bring her back, but you want to have multiple lands enter before you bring her back. It looks like you're going for Omnath, though, which is just steal your opponent's lands. Yeah, you can proliferate. They proliferated my stun tokens! Oh, that's rude. I guess I should have gone in the other order. At least I have Archmage's Charm up through Nykthos. Two abilities removed by unable to scream. Hi, Brazen Borrower. Cryptic Coat. I love Cryptic Coat. Which is why I can't let you have it. I will counter that spell. Agent of Rafine, able to steal spells from me every single turn, and can crew the Omnath. I love how the whale is like, I'm going in. No, never mind. Did they not hit any lands? I guess I have very few lands in my deck. That's fair. I know I can turn that into a land. I'm going to play the Mischievous Mystic. I have 4 mana available to either Overcharged Amalgam or Counterspell and then go for an untap on the Fairy. I think Omnath is the better side. It's a 2-mana 3/3 vehicle, which you might know is good. They spent 2 mana. They stole the top card of my deck. I don't know what it is, though. I'll be able to tell if they play a purple spell. Or land. Purple land. It'll have my art. It's a Cavern of Souls. They stole Cavern of Souls from me. Ooh, Dream Shackle, guys. I should have considered that for my deck. Because they named Spirit, it is uncounterable. So I won't try to counter it. I know, that's mind-blowing, right? Alright, so they're locking down Cynette here. And swinging with Omen Kill, I'm going to flash out the Overcharged Amalgam, not sacrificing anything, because I'm not countering. I just want a 4-4 to block the 3-3. Nice? Thanks. There's a weird bug on Twitch that causes your chat to reverse text. Weird. I have a moth. Down to 12. Bye-bye, Bodhi. Bye-bye, Bodhi. They also have flyers, though. Yeah, it's not evasive the way that, like, Looter Scooter is, but it's still good. Lets you get lands that you can play. Thinking? I did that once. Now I just say, yeehaw! And, blow kisses. You and me, Yoko. You know what's up. They're stealing from me again. Hey, Butts! How are ya? Doing pretty well. Making my Mystic untappable. I'm not going to bother with the counterspell. I'm going to go for the big pile of untaps here. I untap my Sleep Curse Fairy. And then I'm going to untap my Sleep Curse Fairy. Then I'm going to untap my Sleep Curse Fairy, and it will actually untap the third time. And then I can block your creature. GG. Velgavoth, Terror Eater. If my things go to the graveyard, they actually go to exile, and Velgavoth can cast those spells. I've got 1-drops. Lots of them. And maybe eventually I'll get to 4 mana. Who knows? I will keep this. I like having the little tiny scry off the Silver Raven. I like having the ability to mute one of their creatures. I have sort of a counterspell creature as well, Cyclonic Rift. This is tough because they are going to have to ramp and just kill a ton of stuff. That's a nice way for me to bounce their ramp, but I think I should be going straight up climbing the aggro crag. They're going to be killing my creatures as quickly as they can, and I am going to try to prevent that. I do like that I got another land. That makes me feel a little bit more sure about this. Mausoleum Wanderer, and then Thousand Face Shadow. Now watch them just, like, Toxic Deluge for X equals 1 next turn. Please don't, Velgavoth. I know your deck is, like, all removal. Don't kill my sweet, sweet babes. Oh, wait, I'd be able to counter it. We're good. We're good. We're fine. Does Ward trigger on counter spells? Things don't have Ward when they are on the stack. But there are some cards that say this card can't be countered. Hi. I have creatures and the ability to sacrifice my Mausoleum Wanderer. Bloodchief's Thirst? I mean, if you're gonna go try to counter it anyway, I may as well just do this. It's gonna die. It's dead. I will swing in with my 2 1/1s. I could either go to draw, or I could try to mess up their draw, which is what I'm going to do. You might notice I put a stop here. So when they draw the card, I get to look at their hand and say, oh, a nice hand you have. I will make you put a card from your hand to the bottom of your library. Let's see. Removal, removal, sealing, removal, board wipe. Of these, I'm putting that board wipe on the bottom. These are all single target removal spells, which I'm fine with. Like, it's annoying, yes, but I can deal with it. And also I can hit them with my jellies. I buff up all my flyers, swing in, they're down to 14, I'm still at 25. Also, I should note that Velgavoth does have lifelink, and he costs 9 mana. So, like, huge, mothily, but also 9 mana. We'll gain a lot of life, but first they have to come out. blotting out my commander since it is the highest cost creature I have. And because it was exiled, I don't get the extra jelly. Hmm. You're not allowed to fly. Only I'm allowed to fly. Oracle. This should be lethal. But like, they can kill something. Some spells that call for additional costs to counter them. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Aw, darn. Meat Hook Massacre. Had I held up my Nimble Obstructionist, I would have been able to stop that ability. I didn't. That's fine. This gives me the choice now of, do I want to play this? Do I want to play this? Do I want to hold up this? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just going to hold the Nimble Obstructionist as a flyer. They can make me sacrifice it. I accept this as truth. So 3-1 kills you in 3 hits. Would you like to edict it? Would you like to steal from me? Come on, you know you're gonna steal birds. You love birds. I love birds. So I'm playing a bird deck. I got a bird feeder. And by bird feeder, I mean I put a bunch of bird seed on my windowsill and birds show up. It's actually pretty sweet. Kitten. Wonder what they stole. They got 4 cards. You like legitimate business imp? Yeah, because I turned a Phyrexian imp into a business boy. Does the slap dove still come by? Yes. I put sunflower seeds out, and the order of aggression is like most of the birds, then the blue jays. The blue jays get beat up by the cardinals, and everybody gets beaten up by one mourning dove who just likes to slap everybody with its wings. How persistent. Floating some mana. But what for? Aw, for a very tappy slappy fairy. She's sleeping. Muldrifter's also sleeping. I could steal this once it's ready to untap. Oh, wait. Non-land permanent you control. Ugh, why do words have to have meanings? I'll play Cynette. Even if they had a counter spell stolen from me, they wouldn't be able to counter it because of Cavern of Souls. Riptide Lab also allows me to put this back into my hand and possibly recast it in a future turn. They have enough mana for Virtue. They're not quite at enough mana for Valgavoth. You think they should give us Homeward Path? There's so many stealing cards and so few ways to especially steal back your non-creature permanents. There's a couple ways to like blink creatures back under your control, but it's never feels like enough. And I say this as like a perpetrator of crimes in Magic the Gathering. Who does more crime than me? Nobody. I love doing magic crimes. Oh, Castle Locktwain actually puts them, yeah, I was gonna say, I think 8 mana. They are 1 off from Valgavoth. Oh yeah! Mox Jet. Cause I got this Mox Jet. I guess I should have attacked in first. Yeah, I should have attacked it and I wouldn't have got much out of it. Like, Virtue lets them bring back a creature each turn. That's why I would have gotten 2 more mana there. Or 2 more damage in. There's a bunch of things that say permanent goes back into its owner's hand in this deck. But a lot of things that are blinking only target creatures you control. Some of them say own. One of the most notable examples is Charming Prince. Charming Prince, which gets used to loop Yorion a lot in Brawl, says creature you own. So if your opponent has stolen a creature, you can actually blink it back under your control using that. Feed the swarm so they don't take any damage. If I lose this by 2, you can blame me. Don't you forgetty about that Mox Jetty. Let's see, with Archmage's Charm, I can yoink that. Doing another blink. Maybe I should have left that for Valgavoth. Oh, I forgot about Ward 2. It's my own card. I was so busy thinking about the crime I could do. I forgot about the crime I should do. And see that? They would be dead! Had I not missed that 2 damage before, that's on me. Also, I am no longer holding up a counterspell. That was a bit of a dud for me. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have done it. This may be the end. Because they can cast Valgavoth. And even though I have a way to blink, I would need instant speed ways to blink in order to get around this. And since it has 9 life that it can gain, well, that's a lot it can do. So they're looking at their own hand. Okay, interesting. Putting something back, getting something else. Oh, maybe they needed 1 more land, actually, for Valgavoth. Oh, they do, because they got rid of Hedron Archive. Oh, we're okay. We're okay for now. Unless they tap to add black for each swamp they control, which is 5 of them, which gives them 1 additional mana. And that's enough for Valgavoth. The Moth Boss? Is he in the house? Time Twister. Time Twister? Yeah, okay. I mean, maybe I was gonna have an instant and I could blink the thing being blocked by Valgavoth. We all played badly here. Thumbs up, handshakes all around. We're all great at Magic the Gathering here on twitch.tv/Amazonian. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. If you're looking for the deck list, it's in the description below. And if you enjoyed this deck, please let me know in the comments. I think that Cynette turned out pretty good. It's an uncommon and it lets you play lots of little blue flyers. And if that's your kind of strategy, then this is a really fun deck. If you like counter spells, there's also some of those in here. But I feel like the flyers do really shine in this deck. And I love when I can build a mono blue deck that isn't just, oh, I stop you from doing things. It's a mono blue deck that, sure, sometimes your opponents will concede because you cast a mana drain, but usually you get to play out the games, swing in with your cool flyers, and you get to play some really interesting flyers. I loved when I actually got to have triggers off of Mastermind, protect things with Pooncreed Escort, stop my opponent's creatures, counter things using the creatures. That makes it feel like a much more commander-driven deck, which in mono blue feels like I don't often get to do. If you're looking for the deck list I mentioned before, it's below. But if you are looking for another mono blue deck that is less focused on creatures and more focused on, well, being explosively good, I will recommend Malcolm. I've been trying to do this, recommending other similar commanders. You want the strongest mono blue commander that does tempo? Malcolm. He's so good. He's kind of nasty. But I prefer this kind of deck list. I like playing creatures, and this is an aggro deck for sure. If you'd like to suggest a commander, also please do leave a comment. I do write those down and I let my chat vote on them. And I can tell you this, Cynette won in a matchup between Cynette, Liliana, Keranos, Effie, and Bramaz. So congratulations, Cynette. You're the only uncommon among that 5. and you still managed to take down the poll, winning by 1 vote over an Oopsal Liliana's deck. So if you ever want to vote on those, come by twitch.tv/Amazonian. The poll happens at kind of a random time. It's whenever I feel like, it's Bruin time. And in this case, it happened at like 4 p.m. when I had an espresso martini. Shout out to my partner, by the way, for making me this. It was great fuel for recording Mono Blue. Thank you so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.